top 7 for me will be number 1, knowledge. Because if you know better, you do better. I've said it over and over again. If you are not informed, you'll be deformed. If you are not inspired, you will expire. If you are not updated, you'll be outdated. What you know determines how far you go. Those who know rule over those who do not know. Information is the key to transformation. So if you know better, you will do better, because everything you do is based on the knowledge that you have. Number 2 for me will be integrity, because you ask anybody who Olumide EMMANUEL is, you most likely hear 1, 2, or 3 things. Wisdom, integrity are always at the top of everything you hear. Who is a man of integrity, is a man of wisdom. And that stems out of 2 things. Number 1, my upbringing. My father and mother brought me up and brought us up in such a way that even though they did not have money, they had values. Now my dad will always say to me and say to us, a good name is better than silver and gold. My father worked in the Nigerian customs for 36 years. He's the only poor custom that I know. The only poor custom officer that I know that did not steal money. He was in custom and he still couldn't have money to build mansions and all this stuff because of integrity. And a lot of people look at that as a negative, but it's not, because those of us that were raised with that integrity are now able to do better with integrity. So my mom will always tell me, remember the son of whom you are. So from my upbringing, I always believed in integrity. When I now got born again, I now saw it in scripture. It was like, this is sealed. And I've made so much money based on integrity. Today, people patronize us because of that, because people will buy into you before they buy into your product. So anything with Olumide EMMANUEL's name goes like that. Even companies invite me now to come on their board. I'm on the board of over 23 different companies. I'm a board chairman for many companies, simply because of that integrity, and I'm making a lot of money from that. Number 3 for me will be relationship. Relationship is very, very important. You rise or fall by relationship. In life, you don't go up, you are brought up. Yeah, because our parents brought us up. People brought you up through, your lecturers brought you up through knowledge. In life, people will bring you into their office by employing you, bring you into their, so you don't go up, you are brought up. Somebody has to bring you up. People that are up there have to allow you to come up there. And that's where relationship comes in. There are things that money cannot buy that relationship will give to you. Number 4, structure, system and structures. Because see, I define system, SYSTEM, as save yourself time, energy, and money. And structures in place, it saves you time, it saves you energy, it saves you money. And that's a lot of people ask me, are you a pastor and you are running 9 different companies? How do you combine all these things together? System and structures. When you put system and structures in place, I've come to realize that there are people that have courage, capacity, competence, and character, but they don't have the courage. They have capacity, competence, and they have what it takes to run a business, but they don't have the courage to start one. So they have the capacity to run a business, they have the competence to run the business, but they don't have the courage to start one. So I start businesses, I give them my courage, they use their competence and capacity to build the business, and the structure is there, I own it, they run it. Companies, you won't see my name there, you won't see, but I own it, they run it, because I was in place. The next thing for me will be patience. Yeah, because see, a lot of people in the world that we live in today don't want to go through a process. In the way things are done, even in the kingdom, is promise, process, performance. So God promises you something, or you have a dream, you have a plan, you go through a process, and then there's a manifestation. So you have to be patient. Anything that will last, anything that will endure goes through a process. But a lot of people are not patient. So people see some of us today, and they want to have what took us 30 years to have. They want to have it in 2 months. Over time, precept upon precept, line upon line. So, so that's why I will choose patience. Another thing for me will be probably number 6 or 5 or whatever will be communication. And communication is the lifeblood of any relationship. And effective communication keeps things going. I say to people, when it comes to relationship, the top 5 reasons for relational crisis is communication, sex, money, third parties, and unrealistic expectations. The top 3 will be communication, sex, and money. There is no problem we cannot solve except a problem we cannot discuss. The wars, they will still come to the table to discuss. At the end of the day, start destroying buildings and lives. They will still have to come and discuss. So communication, I'm a pastor. I've been ministering now for 35 years. Every life that I have changed is because of the words that came out of my mouth. So communication transforms lives. Everyone that has been destroyed, communication causes and destroys people. So communication is very powerful. The reason why the tree will continue to thrive is when it stays connected to the source of its creation. You cannot succeed and be the best version of yourself if you disconnect from the source of your creation. When God wanted to create the trees, he spoke to the ground, let the earth bring forth trees. So as long as the tree continues to communicate with the earth, the tree will exist. When he wanted to create the fish, he said, let the sea bring forth the fish. He wanted to create us. He did not speak to the ground. He did not speak to the sea. He spoke to himself. Let us make man in our image. So if we disconnect from our creator, we are disconnected by that discommunication, and then we are not going to see the manifestation of who we are. But if you stay connected to the source of your creation, that communication keeps you growing. The seventh one will be wealth creation. Wealth, someone has to take responsibility for the creation of the wealth, and you have to be willing to pay the price to create the wealth, and wealth creation takes time. There are many people we know today that we see and we say, this person is a born entrepreneur, is a born this. By the time you sit down with them, you realize they grew up with their grandmother that was an entrepreneur. They grew up with parents that were doing business, and from day one, they have been carrying bag of rice, carrying gari, carrying this. They have been waking up by 5 a.m. to peel yam, to cut plantain. So they grew up having to fry plantain, having to hawk ogi. So they grew up in an environment where selling to make money, going to meet people you don't know to sell something to them, it's all part of, because see, that's, street smarts gave them courage, gave them negotiation skill, gave them eyes for opportunity, gave them tenacity, gave them the ability to handle the nose of life. All those things, business school cannot give it to them. So that environment helped them. Some people grew up in families where an environment where nothing was working for them. The only thing that was able to take them out of that environment was their imagination and their mind. They were able to transfer themselves out of that physical environment in their imagination to create a picture. And then they were able to end up in the future that they pictured. Because so your environment will affect you. The association, your upbringing, it will always affect you. But the fact that your background is negative does not mean that your back should be on the ground. The fact that you came from a poor background does not mean you must be poor. Your background, your environment will affect you, but you can rise above it. There is a species of the shark, my brother. There's a species of the shark that when you put it in an aquarium, it cannot grow beyond the shape of the aquarium. But that same species of shark, when you take it out of the aquarium and take it into the ocean, in 3 months, it will grow to its full capacity. So you see many of the people in Nigeria that say, the guy, when he was in Nigeria, he was not doing well. When he jackpot like this, things began to move. No, it was a species of Nigerian that was in an aquarium called Nigeria. He had the potential to do more, but the environment limited him. When he now got to the ocean of the Western world, he was able to grow to his full potential. But there are some of Nigerians that are lizards in Nigerian ocean. When they were in the ocean of Nigeria, they were lizards. When you take them abroad, they will still fail. Because they do what you don't have, you don't have. So it's not the environment, it is what you have inside that came out because the environment enhanced it. So everybody, one way or the other, can be affected, limited, impeded, encouraged, helped, assisted by the environment. It's all a function of perception and interpretation of your reality. Perspective changes things. What somebody else sees as an obstacle, somebody else sees it as an opportunity. Nigeria today, everybody is complaining, but crisis creates opportunities. Crisis creates opportunities. So what you are seeing as a crisis is an opportunity. You say, hey, there's no light, we need power. That means there's money in power, in the power sector. That means there's money. All this Nigeria, the health sector, that means there's money there. Anywhere you are seeing people complaining, that means there's money. If you solve the problem, money. Look at Dangote. Have you ever heard Dangote's voice crying in the media like he has done in the last 1 year? Have you ever seen Adenuga come to shout or talk before? Dangote, these people don't talk. But the environment is affecting even a billionaire like Dangote. That can make a mess of anybody. You can do everything right and still be wrong. Look at what they did to my friend, Paul Nwanibe, Landmark. Somebody that paid $17 million for a land, that have all his documents and everything. You are shifting location. Somebody that paid over 10 billion as taxes in 2023. Then 60 days later, you are destroying 60% of his revenue. Environment affects you, whether you are a billionaire or you are, my brother, whether you are poor, rich, or wealthy, environment will affect you. So if you don't like where you are now, change the information. When you start developing your mindset in the area of wealth, I say to people, in any area of life where you want to become successful, read the number of books commensurate to your age in that area. So if you are 35 years old and you want to succeed in relationship, go and buy 35 books on relationship, one for each year. If you are 40 years old and you are poor and frustrated, go and get 40 books on finances. Read it. You will shock. You go shock you. The entire system will be rejigged. In those days when we're growing up in the spirit, when you want to do deliver, go and carry Bill Subrisky. Buy deliverance book like 50. Read. You'll be seeing demon everywhere. Go and buy book on healing, how to heal the sick, 7 ways to cast out devil. So whatever you impute into you, the frequency with you'll be tuned to the frequency. You begin to flow. Books, knowledge. If you are not informed, you'll be deformed. If you are not inspired, you will expire. If you are not updated, you'll be outdated. What you know determines how far you go. Information is the key to transformation. Those who know rule over those who do not know. If you know better, you will do better. I have loads of books. You have loads of books that has helped people. I'll probably talk about them before we close. Number 2 is relationship association. Who you move with determines what moves with you. If you move with poor people, a poor man cannot help a poor man. A poor man cannot help a poor man. If you move with 5 rich people, you'll be the 6th one. It's not a joke. The people you move with determines what moves with you. So you need to make sure that you begin to connect with the right kind of people. Don't be proud. Don't be arrogant. Go for mentorship. If you know someone that is doing something you have not done before, go and seek counsel. My brother, how you do? Cut soap for me now. Show me the road. And then humble yourself and learn and go through the process. A lot of people are poor because everybody around them is poor. If you need 10 million now, do you have anybody around you that can drop 10 million? If you need 1 million now, do you have anybody you can call and say, guy, I best quickly send me 1 million? If you look all around you, you don't have people you can call without any explanation, without story. You are in trouble. Oh, no, too late. You need relationship to help your mind. The people you move with will help your mind. Then let me add one more: environment. Environment helps your mind. A lot of people are like fishes in an aquarium, celebrating mediocrity. You are, like a one-eyed man in the midst of blind people. You say you are a king until a miracle worker comes and opens everybody's eyes, and they see that you are limited. You are just a deceiver. So when you go to the right environment, you will change by force, because by the time you look at everywhere, you know the way. You know how when you paint your house, you start seeing that this wall clock is no more fitting into this place. So all the socket that is dirty, when you paint everywhere, the socket will not say, we need to change the socket. Why? Because you have. So when you go to an environment that is greater than you, your brain will start telling you adjust to information, association, environment, and those are the trinity